Hello, everyone. Welcome in. We're gonna get started in just a second. Hi, my name is Kendra. If you do not know who I am, I'm a plant-based lifestyle strategist, and I'm here to support you in today, specifically reclaiming your balance and focusing on habits that impact your hormones and your health, and understanding that space and realizing the fact that we are not supporting and taking care of our body the way that we think and that we should be because we consume any and everything. We don't realize what these processed sugars are doing, these processed foods are doing. And we don't come to the realization until it's either diagnosed with a disease or we sit there and develop cancer that our habits are impacting our health in a negative way. And so I'm here to make the connections of the food that you eat to your health and the actions that you have, as well as understanding the direct connect between food and illness, and making the connection between all of those to understand that food should be used as medicine. Your body is able to heal, and if it's not healing, there's something that's blocking your healing. So figuring out what the issue is, getting to the root cause, is going to allow us to establish a lifestyle of healing and being healthy and taking care of our body correctly. And so today we're going to be diving into the impact that hormonal imbalance has, and diving into those daily habits that impact our hormones that we could possibly not realize currently right now. And then we are going to dive into the damage that it's causing and understanding that damage that it's causing, and understanding either if we're supporting our body or if we're sabotaging it, because a lot of people are sabotaging their own body because they're blocking their healing. And you don't realize this because you're not taught the healthy habits that allow you to realize this is how you heal. This is your body's warning signs. This is a vital way that your body speaks to you. And so here's the truth. We've all heard this before. Every single action has consequences, right? We've all heard that. Every single action that you take has consequences. Whether it's negative or positive, there's a consequence. So when you really sit there and you take a step back and now I'm trying to figure out what's the word for you to analyze your habits. That's the word I'm trying to think of. It's not exactly the word, but analyze the habits that you have, good or bad. Sit back and take a mental inventory. You realize that the choices that you have affect your body deeper than just, oh, I'm hungry, so I'm going to eat something. Oh, my stomach is growling, so I just want to eat something. Oh, I don't have no energy, let me go drink coffee. You realize that your body has not been supported in many different ways because you haven't been eating correctly. You haven't been giving your body the nutrients that it needs. You could be supplementing things in to sit there and try self-evaluation. Thank you. You could be supplementing things in to try to, oh, I need more iron, I need more magnesium. But you're not realizing that you can get all of that from food without supplements, without tinctures, without medications, without prescriptions, without surgeries. All by using food as your medicine, your body starts to heal, and you'll see healing if you start using food as your medicine. Start eating correctly, the way that your body wants you to consume, and not the way the society programs you to consume. And so, what if I told you that a you to consume? And so, what if I told you that a small little change that seems harmless, that seems absolutely harmless, can impact your hormonal balance completely? Harmless, that seems absolutely harmless, can impact your hormonal balance completely, and blocking you from your body healing, keeping your body in the space of being ill, keeping your body in a space of not knowing how to take care of itself because it's too busy trying to live, fight to see another day. Because that's what people are doing when they're throwing their hormone balance off every single day, spiking their insulin, throwing their body in the trash because they just eat trash. Literally, it makes your body go in panic mode. The same thing with when you're malnourished. Your body panics because it has nothing to be fueled off of. Just like when your car has no fuel or oil, how it starts to break down and you can feel that. That's what your body is doing, but you don't know the warning signs because you've never realized your body gives you warning signs before you develop diseases or illnesses or cancer. There are plenty of warning signs. Thank you for the follow. I really, really appreciate it. Thanks for everybody that is following, commenting. So today, we're going to cover how your habits shape your health. We're going to talk about the link between those habits and chronic illnesses and diseases, like we said already. Hormonal disruptions, we're going to understand that and what they're caused by. And we're going to be talking about inflammation and chronic illness all in one big bubble. And then at the end, I'm going to give you solutions and steps for you to start healing and supporting your body and restoring that balance that you deserve. Thank you so much for the follow. So stick with me, and I promise if you stick to the rest of this live, you will have a solution by the end, because like I said, all of the things that I give you for all the free content, I do post it on YouTube later on. You have plenty of things for you to get started today to start healing, to support your body, start using food as your medicine, and understanding how to live a plant-based lifestyle. But if you are ready for my strategy, my success strategy, that foolproof strategy, that support, that accountability, you can come work with me. The link is in my bio, but we'll get to all of that at the end. So let's talk about the power of habits, right? Have you ever stopped and sat there and thought about the habits that you've had since childhood? The things that you've carried into your adulthood? Have you really sat back and looked and be like, every single night at 7 o'clock, I give myself sugar. I've been doing this since I was younger, because I know before bed, I would always get a treat, right? After I ate my dinner, I ate all of my dinner, I ate my vegetables, I got a treat. Maybe it was just because you had a good day. You would get a treat at 7 o'clock every single day. Most of us haven't really sat back and analyzed, that's the word I was thinking of earlier, analyzed the different habits that we have carried from childhood all the way to adulthood that no longer support us. Because if we really sit back and we realize that society has conditioned ourselves and it's been programmed to adapt to a certain way of eating and the lifestyle, the behaviors that we have from a very, very young age, you'll realize that we're not taught to analyze those habits, because then we'll start to realize the imbalance. We'll start to gather the full picture of how great-grandma, grandma, mom, dad, whoever, all these imbalances are stemming because all of these habits keep getting passed down for generation to generation. Because illness and disease does not just run in your family. There is no disease that runs in your family. The problem is everybody has the same habits that lead you down the same path. So if grandma has cancer, mom has cancer, and now you've somehow gotten the same cancer that all three of you now have, look at the habits that you all have that are similar. If everybody has breast cancer, look at the habits that link to breast cancer. Hormonal imbalance, lymphatic blocks, all of these different things, which are hormone dysregulation. That's a sign that everybody's doing the same thing and nobody's questioning how we got here. Nobody's getting to the root cause. And majority of society never gets to the root cause, because we're taught, take a prescription, do a surgery, take this medication for the rest of your life. We're taught these different steps before we ever analyze the behavior, because at the end of the day, that's a quick solution. That's managing the problem. Managing keeps it alive inside of your body. And when you manage something, just like you maintain a car, you maintain a house, it's gonna stay alive. So you're maintaining that illness and disease in your body, which is going to keep it alive inside of your body. So think about the fact that when you're taking that medication or that prescription, you're saying like, oh, it's lowering my A1C. Oh, it's helping me not have high blood pressure. Oh, it's helping me to develop or manage my heart disease. You're developing something else deeper inside of your body, because you're keeping it alive so it moves around to another location to make you ill in a different kind of way. So then you get put on another prescription. You get put on another medication. You get recommended for another surgery. But you don't realize your body has been giving you signs of hormonal balance since the time that you were probably a child. Like, really break it down, because when you're sitting there having these different issues of, oh, all of a sudden my mood is changing, I'm anxious all the time, I'm not feeling good, my stomach is imbalanced, your gut pH is off, your brain is off, your liver's not functioning, your pancreas is not functioning, your kidneys aren't functioning at full capacity, these are signs that there's an imbalance, which throws off your hormones. You have painful menstrual cycles, PCOS, fibroids, cysts. That's a sign of hormonal disruption. Thank you so much for the follows, guys. So society has conditioned us to just kind of go with the flow, eat anything, have this lifestyle behavior of, okay, well, I'm here for a good time and not a long time. And at the end of the day, as long as I consume this in moderation, which people's moderation is 2 to 3 times a week, then at the end of the day, I won't be sick. But in moderation is maybe consuming it every 3 months, 4 months, 5 months. That's moderation. That's moderation. Because today's society of moderation is them thinking that, okay, I can eat meat once a day. Okay, I can eat this sugar at 7 o'clock at the same time every single day because that's moderation. I didn't eat sugar all day, right? But not realizing that you're throwing off your hormonal balance when it comes to your insulin, because you sit here and eat carbs as soon as you wake up and you start eating. You're like, I'm hungry, my stomach growled. Let me go get some toast. Let me go get some biscuits. That spikes your insulin. Then you sit here and put this highly sugary jelly on it. You might put some honey on it if you're good, if you're being good. You might put some agave on it, something like that, right? Not realizing this spikes your insulin in multiple different ways. And when you're first starting out your day, the last thing you need is for your insulin to spike, because then you will have no energy. And so when you sit back and go, that's why I'm always so fatigued, and then you realize that that imbalance, you've been doing it for years on end, you'll be like, wow, I've been throwing off my insulin for years. That's why I'm diabetic. That's why every single woman in my family has some type of inflammation in their reproductive system. And that's the reason why we have PCOS and fibroids running through our system like crazy. That's the reason why half the women in our family have hysterectomies. You'll realize because you've been throwing your hormones off with the foods that you're consuming. Starting your day off and not balancing your hormones, but instead spiking them. So when you're sitting there from a very young age being taught, oh, start your day drinking off inflammatory milk. Oh, let's start eating these processed snacks because it's quicker for you to go get Chex Mix. It's quicker for you to get a Fiber One bar when you're starting your day off. It's quick to get your Nutri-Grain bar, even though it's highly sugary. Rely on meat as your main protein source. All of these habits are inflammatory. Literally just broke down the whole food pyramid for you of the basis of what they tell you you need to eat. And half of it already is inflammatory. So really sit back and look at these officials that make the My Plate, make these food pyramids, and wonder, what is their actual agenda if they know that meat throws off your hormones because it sits there and makes you inflamed, processed snacks make you inflamed, knowing that they have additives and fillers in them, and they don't ban these additives and fillers, as well as the fact that they tell you that you should have 2 glasses of milk every single day, which is highly inflammatory. And I think it's so funny now that like everybody's kind of starting to like become aware of additives and fillers, and now they're starting to get on the companies about them lying on labels. I saw this earlier today that they were talking about the Boulder chips, those Boulder chips that are supposed to be the healthier kind of, less sodium, no sugar, no artificial flavoring, sweeteners, all these different things that they list on there, right? They're being sued. I don't know who they're owned by. I don't think it's Kellogg's, but it's somebody. I think it might be General Mills. I'm not exactly for sure. But they're owned by a bigger company. They're just that's their little brand name, right? They're getting sued now because they've been lying on their label for false advertisement of no additives, no fillers, something like that, whatever they put on there. But when you flip it around, they have citric acid in their label, right? So this is why I said, if you're a company that you love this brand for, start emailing them and asking them what their citric acid is made from. Because this company literally sat there and they're having a lawsuit and tried to go around it and say, well, we didn't add it in there as a preservative because citric acid that they use, that is the fake citric acid that is chemically made, they derive it from black mold, right? So they sat there and said, well, we don't use it as a preservative. We use it for a food flavoring agent. So we didn't think that categorized as us using it as a preservative, even though it does preserve our food, which is great. We use it for flavoring. Does that not sound like a child that got caught in a lie and they're just trying to flip that around to hope that they don't get in trouble? And that's what these companies do. And so that's why I tell you that like these companies are legally allowed to lie to you. It's not right. It's not right, but they are legally allowed to because they know there are so many different loopholes. If they even get anything done to their company, all they have to do is pay a fine, change the product, tell you, ooh, it has a new fancy look, and then move on about their business. They never lose any money. They might have to pay a little fine, but compared to what you're going to give them because you keep spending your money with them, knowing that they're lying to you, they're not worried about that little down payment they have to pay for them to keep lying to you. The bad habits that we have create bad outcomes. That's the same thing of the definition of insanity. You expect to get a different result, but you do the same thing as everybody else. That's the literal definition of insanity. So your bad habits are going to create a bad outcome for you. So why keep doing the same thing that makes you ill? Because these ultra processed foods that you keep eating lead you to having inflammation, lead you to having gut issues, leading you to have hormonal chaos, and you keep eating them, knowing that they lie to you on these labels, knowing that they have additives and fillers, knowing they add dyes into your food. It makes no sense to keep doing the same thing but expecting a different result. It hasn't worked. It has not worked. Generation after generation, it has not worked. So at what point are you going to sit back? My eyebrows, I need to put some oil on them. At what point are you going to sit back and be like, oh yeah, this is not working for us. So how do I change this? When am I going to change this? What am I going to do to change it? Rather than just sitting here going, oh, well, all food is poison. We can't do anything about it. Let me rub some oil on it. I have some oil right here. But sitting here like, oh, all food is poison. We can't do anything about it. I'm here for a good time and not a long time. Because how are you going to have a good time sitting here with these poor habits that compound and then eventually lead you to having issues like diabetes, autoimmune diseases, gut-related issues, having hormonal disorders? PCOS is a hormonal disorder. Cysts and fibroids are a hormonal disorder. So leading yourself down the same path because you sit here and say that all food is poison, at least I get to eat the foods that I enjoy, makes no sense. Because over time, these poor habits combine. And then they combine inside of your body and store inside of your fat cells. Toxins store inside of your fat cells. When they store inside of your fat cells and you do nothing about them to expel, or you sit there and think that you doing diet culture or you getting a tincture or some kind of supplement is going to help you expel it, not realizing that you have to change your habits, you have to flush your system, and you have to do it correctly and appropriately for you to not have any backlash from your body, because you've been doing this imbalancing habits for all of your life. When you sit back and learn how to correctly take care of your body, you'll realize that you get to the root cause, 1, and 2, the programming that society has put you under has kept you so imbalanced all of your life that you have never had a discerning thought when it comes to your health, but instead you've been programmed to believing that diet culture is going to help you, calorie counting is going to help you, restricting your favorite snacks is going to help you. What's going to help you is learning how to eat your fruits and vegetables in all of the forms that you love and supporting your body in that space. That's what's going to help you. But it's a matter of, what do you want to do for yourself? Do you want to support your body? Do you want to help your body? Do you want to love your body the way that you should be? Or do you want to just keep doing the same thing that you're doing every single day? Following the same path everybody else is following and just hoping there's a different result for you when there's not. Because at the end of the day, all you're doing is just sitting here hoping and praying make it to the next day. Making it by day. Why keep making it by? Why not help your body thrive in the space that you are? Be here for a good time. And take care of your body and allow it to heal so you don't have to do surgeries. You don't have to spend your time or your money in a medical space when you can learn how to heal holistically, naturally, like your body does from the inside out, when you give it the nutrients that it needs. Give it the food that it's craving, or it should be craving, that you've literally thrown off your cravings to the point where now you don't even crave fruits and vegetables. You only crave meat and processed foods and dairy. And I'm not saying this to jump on anybody, because I was once there. That's why I can speak on this so heavily, because I've been plant-based for 4 years and I teach other people how to do this, because 88% of Americans are metabolically unhealthy. 88% of Americans. This is a fact. So take that factor and really digest the fact that we are not sitting here taking care of our body with diet culture like we're thinking. But these poor habits are making our body suffer, which is blocking our healing, as well as the fact that we are not as active as we should be, because we're a society that rides, sits, and just watches TV, watches movies. Like, we don't do a whole lot of activity. We don't walk places. So when you sit here and you realize that not only do we have a poor lifestyle choices, but we also sit here and not active enough, because our habits towards our food are trash, our activity is trash, our products that we use are trash. Every aspect that you give yourself is trash. So tell me you don't treat your body like trash. Like, it's not funny, but it's funny because it's like you feed your body trash. You put trash items on your body, like your produce. I mean, not your produce, your products. I keep saying the wrong word. Your products, like your body wash, your face wash, is trash. Even if you spend so and so, oh, I spend $80 on my face care. Oh, I spend about $100 and something on my makeup. Look at the chemicals in that crap. It's trash. So how do you not treat your body like trash when you put trash in every aspect? Eat it, you put it on your body, and you don't get active enough. That's just leading your body to tell your body, hey, I don't care about you. Break down any kind of way that you can, and I'll just suffer. That's what you're telling your body. Do what you can, make it by on these fumes that I give you of a bunch of crap. And then when you break down, I'm going to be confused. Real confused. But the opposite, the turnaround of all this stuff is that your habits can change. You don't have to sit here and feel like, oh my goodness, I can't do anything about this. I'm just going to unalive. At the end of the day, it is what it is. I'm here for a good time. I'm here for a good time, not a long time. But realize that your habits can change and they can support you. Thank you so much for the follows. First, you have to acknowledge how harmful your habits are, what the harmful habits are. Identify those. Identify the fact that you are self-sabotaging yourself with the habits that you have. And then switch to the opposite side of, okay, how do I heal? What do I need to do to heal for myself? How do I get to the space of healing so that I can overcome all of this? Because inflammation is literally a silent killer. We talk about how heart disease is the number one thing that unalives us, right? We talk about how diabetes, cancer, all of these different aspects are unaliving us. But we don't realize that all the damaging effects start with chronic inflammation, start with the constant space of being inflamed internally. So that's how you develop these diseases. It's not just, oh, cancer just runs so rapidly through our society and we don't know what to do about it. I know exactly what to do about it. That's why everybody likes to joke about how there's a cure for cancer. There's a cure for cancer. We know they have it. All the higher ups have it. No, they've just tapped into the potential of your body sitting here, being able to heal. Obviously, they use other methods, but I'm not going to get into that. I'm not going to get into all that. But they understand the process of natural healing. They understand the fact that you have to get rid of inflammation in order for your body to reset and to heal itself. Stop blocking your healing. And so inflammation shows up in the body in a different amount of ways. Stress causes inflammation inside the body. Food, toxins, whether it's you putting the toxin on your body or eating it and consuming it. You just had a pacemaker put in. My father had a pacemaker put in, funny enough. He healed himself. He didn't change from a non-meat eating lifestyle, but he did heal himself from eating better, getting more active. And now he doesn't have to depend on it, but it's still there inside of his body. From eating better, getting more active. And now he doesn't have to depend on it, but it's still there inside of his body. And so we're constantly talking about inflammation and healing and different things in his aspect, in his space. And he asked me several different questions, but one thing he was asking me about was chia seeds, because it came out, I think with the American Heart Association or something like that was talking about the fact that like chia seeds are the number one thing for you to eat every single day, for you to get every nutrient that you need, or at least to cover all the nutrients that you need for energy and health. It's the same thing as how they told you need an apple a day. Chia seeds and the apples are really coming hand in hand. For an apple a day keeps the doctor away, so is chia seeds. That's becoming the new thing for everybody. Not saying you get rid of the apples, but chia seeds are moving into the same space of an apple a day keeps the doctor away. And so that's a little free tidbit for everybody that's in here, because they truly do impact your health. Whether if you're trying to gain weight, especially if you are somebody who's trying to gain weight, that's an amazing additive that you can add. Hemp seeds and chia seeds. I have this in my cookbook. I'm pretty sure. If not, I put it in my diabetes book. But it's a great way for you to be able to gain your weight if you are suffering from like, okay, I lose a lot of weight, I don't know what to do. And that plant-based cookbook is a beginner's guide. It's linked in my bio, that supports you in cooking your plant-based meals and understanding how easy it can be to cook plant-based meals. And those are like the fun, like can be quick, prepped, delicious kind of meals that help me get started. I had an amazing woman in here that purchased my cookbook yesterday, and I'm going to post it in my story, that was talking about that she loved the pancake recipe inside of there. And I'm so happy that it supported her, because I love a good pancake, but not everybody likes their pancakes the same. And so I didn't know how the reaction was going to be, but she said she loved it. I love those pancakes, and she made it with teff flour when I made it with spelt flour. So it can be versatile, so I love that too. I didn't even try teff flour, so I love that. Thanks to the follow and the likes, I really appreciate it. So this is what we need to know about this food stress, this toxin stress, this emotional stress that causes inflammation inside of our body, right? Meat and dairy are the major culprits of inflammation inside the body, because they contain different parasites. They contain these different acids. They contain dyes. People don't realize that they dye your meat, your dairy, your milk. They color it. That's the reason why they can have meat that sits there for months and it doesn't change color, because they color it, and they know that at the end of the day, the meat has already been a different color when it comes to the factory. Because people who worked in factories, especially during like the time of 2020, where people were really exposing companies that were closed or they got fired from or let go or whatever else, they were talking about these meat packing factories, knowing that the meat has cancer, knowing the meat has been discolored because it's been sitting out way too long, all these different factors that are not healthy, that are not good. And then they tell the workers, don't worry about the color because we're going to color it. Don't worry about the cancer, just cut it out. That is not safe, but they can get away with it because even though it's not right, it is legally allowed because of all these loopholes. As long as they pass inspection day, it doesn't matter. Legal and lawful are two different things, and I've said this before. Just because it's just because it's legal doesn't mean it's right, doesn't mean it's lawful. And they know that, and they don't care. Because at the end of the day, as long as it's legally allowed, who's to stop them? Processed foods are another issue that cause inflammation, because processed foods are filled with artificial flavors, artificial additives, trans fats, high fructose corn syrup. They're filled with inflammatory sugars. They're filled with all these different things like citric acid. Like I said, citric acid is made from black mold if they're not deriving it from the natural citrus, like majority of these companies don't, because it's cheaper to buy black mold citric acid than it is to get the natural derived citrus. These trigger chronic inflammation. What does chronic inflammation feed? Toxins. I mean, they stem from toxins. What does it feed? Diseases. So over time, inflammation is going to disrupt your body. It's going to disrupt your body's ability to regulate your hormones specifically. And this is going to lead you to having an imbalance in estrogen, whether you have estrogen dominance or you have a lack of estrogen. This is going to increase or decrease your progesterone. Progesterone is the pregnancy hormone in women. For men, this is going to increase your estrogen, lower your testosterone, or it's going to have a overproduction of testosterone, and then that's going to make your estrogen try to compensate. So either which way, you're going to have an overload, an imbalance. And these are the issues that you start to have when you start to develop different issues with reproductive, different issues with you having breast cancer, men and women, having issues of getting tumors in your lymphatic area of your armpits, right here, like I said, the breast area. This is a sign of hormonal imbalances. The same thing, you can start to developing parasites that go to your blood-brain barrier, because now they're feeding off of the tumors that are growing inside of your brain. So increasing your cortisol, which is a stress hormone, that's a stress hormone, right? It's going to help weaken your immune system. It's going to knock down your immune system. So this is also going to make you develop all these issues of illness. So this is the reason why during this time, people talk about, oh my goodness, I'm so stressed out. Oh, I stay sick during the wintertime. It's because you put your body in stress already with the foods that you eat. And then the stress that you have around, either it's the holidays or you have to do more at work or whatever else. And then that weakens your immune system, which is going to make you ill and then going to cause other diseases outside of, oh, I just have the flu. Oh, I just have, I don't know what else, what is it called? Pneumonia. Oh, I just have strep throat. It's deeper than that. It's way deeper than that. Because it isn't just, oh, it's cold and flu season. It's a matter of the fact that you just eat anything around this time. Let your body get stressed out. You don't do any movement and then wonder why you're ill. You don't need to sit there and get a shot. You don't need a prescription. You don't need all these different things. You just don't take care of your body. So your body has to depend on these things to make it through, because you're not helping it heal. You're not helping it be healthy. You're just allowing your body to make it to the next day. So conditions like IBS, diabetes, and infertility issues are going to come from you throwing off your hormonal imbalances like we just talked about. And the worst part is the fact that you don't even realize that you were so inflamed, because the symptoms like fatigue, bloating, and brain fog, like those things are normalized. Those things are just swept under the rug like, oh, everybody's tired. Everybody forgets a little bit. Everybody's going to feel fatigued after the year that you've had. Not realizing that those are signs that your body is telling you: 1, I'm not getting enough nutrients. 2, I'm not getting enough sleep. 3, you're not doing any type of coping mechanisms that help me deal with stress. All of these different things are going to lead you to having diseases that you could have prevented. We've talked about parasites all through here, so let's talk about the fact that parasites thrive in the environment you have created. Parasites cause and thrive in your hormonal disruption, right? So, parasites thrive in the environment that you created because you have unhealthy habits with the foods that you eat, because you believe in diet culture. You believe in the foods of these my periods, these food plates, these my food, whatever, my food plates or my plates and food pyramids. And then especially the highly processed foods, the sugars, the added sugars, the animal products, these feed parasites. We know that meat itself has parasites in it. That's literally how you start to develop. They have maggots. When they unalive, the meat just sits on the side of the road. You see a deer, it's roadkill, right? Maggots, parasites, flies, all of the bottom feeder bugs, they're going ham, right? But think about the bugs that were already in the meat, because the meat already had bugs. That's the reason why they have to give it all these different antibiotics and all these different things, because that's what parasites are. They're thriving inside of them, because when you have these issues of, just like you get told that like, okay, you take this antibiotic, you have to take all 12 days of this antibiotic, because if not, it's going to become resistant. The it in that scenario is a parasite. The it in that scenario is a parasite. They don't say that. That's a worm, a parasitic worm. That's the same thing that happens to these animals. So when they tell you, oh, it's they don't have any antibiotics, it's antibiotic free, worry about how many parasites are thriving in that animal. And then if it is antibiotic free, what did they do to the animal to keep it from having to have antibiotics? What kind of foods were they feeding it? What kind of process did this animal go through? Like, all of these different words that they try to use to you as marketing should be questionable. You should start questioning them, because then you'll start to really trip them up on their lies, and you'll realize, oh my goodness, they've been lying to me all my life. So why does this matter? Parasites damage your gut lining. They pass your blood-brain barrier. When it sits there and damages your gut lining, this is when you start to have leaky gut. When you have leaky gut syndrome, this is harmful because the substances from your gut start to leak inside of your bloodstream. That's a problem. That's not safe. It also triggers your autoimmune response to say, hey, there's something off, and that's a panic, that's stress, that's fight or flight mode. And your body's going to stay in that space because you never help heal your gut. You continuously throw it off. The same thing with parasites breaching your blood-brain barrier, just like microplastics do. Those are highly inflammatory, and parasites feed off of inflammation. So it's going to be thriving there in your brain, eventually feeding off of a tumor that it's created. And that's not just me saying, oh, this can theoretically happen. There's a doctor on TikTok that was talking about, she's a brain surgeon. She did brain surgery and pulled out a parasitic worm in somebody's tumor in their brain, and she had no clue what it was. So she grabbed it with her little tweezers while she was doing her surgery and pulled it out, and never expected it to be a parasitic worm. And it's still scarring her to this day. She was talking about that surgery had been surgeries ago, like months ago, years ago, however long, and it's still stuck with her. Parasites disrupt your microbiome. This directly affects your hormone production and disrupts your balance. Hormonal disruption causes and can lead you to having estrogen dominance, a condition where your estrogen literally causes you to sit here, gain weight, have mood swings, sit here and develop issues like fibroids and endometriosis, sitting here developing PCOS. having PMS issues. I'm speaking as somebody who was estrogen dominant since the time that I started my cycle, and I had to go to the doctor trying to figure out why am I about to literally pass out every single time I start my menstrual cycle, realizing, oh, you have estrogen dominance, not knowing what that means. So I'm like, oh, okay, well, why is my estrogen dominant? Like, I'm a woman, yes. Not realizing it's because of the food habits that I had. When I changed my food habits and I realized that, like, oh my goodness, I've been throwing off my estrogen, but eating all this soy, having all these parasites, not cleansing correctly, not supporting my body with the foods that I'm eating to give myself fuel. And I started to do all those things I wasn't giving my body originally. It started to heal itself. I saw a difference in my menstrual cycle. I started to see a difference in my body. My weight fluctuation stopped doing all of those crazy up and downs. I was literally over 200 pounds. I was around like 220s. I could never get down under 190 doing diet culture and everything else. I literally starved myself for about like 6 months sitting there doing some kind of diet. I was playing 2 sports at one time. I got down around to 170, was so proud of myself, gained all the weight back as soon as I quit within a month. Within a month, I gained all the weight back and some. The mood swings were out of this world. I was anxious all the time, having panic attacks. I was in and out of depression episodes. Like, I was not mentally stable. I wasn't off my rocker, but I wasn't mentally stable either. Not realizing that was stemming from the fact that the estrogen was literally dominating my body. My body was producing way too much estrogen, trying to fight off the fake estrogen I was adding inside of my body with all this crap that I was eating. And studies show that over 60 million Americans itself are exposed to having parasitic infections a year, and we do not do any parasite cleanses in the US. We're not taught to do parasite cleanses. Other societies are taught how to parasite cleanse with the foods that they eat on a normal basis, but we're not taught these things. And so these infections just sit there and go undiagnosed until we sit there and develop a chronic disease, and then we're confused. Now we're like, what? How did I do that? How did I develop that? So let's sit here and really realize that, like, certain foods are going to throw off your hormonal imbalances. So we have to find that balance of healthy food that is going to support us and the foods that we love to be able to sit here and continue this lifestyle and not hate the things that we're eating. I'm somebody who's plant-based. I'm not raw. I don't eat just raw fruits and vegetables all the time. I just hope that one day I'll just love this lifestyle. I love the lifestyle that I live because I cook real whole foods, enjoy the foods that I'm eating, and cook all the things that I used to eat because we go to things that are familiar. So if you liked hot dogs every single day as a child, you can learn how to make plant-based hot dogs. It's not difficult. It's just a matter of knowing the recipe that you like. If you like sweet, if you like spicy, whatever else, like it's all seasoning. You have to understand that your addiction to meat is because you love seasoning. It's not because you love the taste of meat. It's because you love seasoning. Because you're not going to sit there and go bite a cow in the yard and be like, this is delicious. Or you're not going to cut it open, take the meat out and be like, let me eat that. No. What do? You sit there and marinate it. You coat it with seasonings. You do all these different things to prep it, and then you cook it, and then you like it. So that's the same thing as you cooking a plant-based meal. So don't overthink it. Don't complicate it. Make it simple. And that's what I do if you work with me, book a one-on-one, or you get in my program, or even just tapping into that plant-based cookbook. I make it all simple. Everything is simplified. So the most beginner-friendly all the way up to the most expert level can understand the book, can understand the product or the service that I'm giving them. You can get everything with Klarna Pharma Afterpay. Go click the link in my bio to learn more. Because most meats today are treated with hormones, like I said already. They promote growth. They promote them to not have parasites. They do all these different things, and you consume that, and that disrupts your hormones. The same thing with dairy. Dairy is packed with estrogen, whether they add it in or it's the natural estrogen that comes from the cow, because this cow was pregnant when it started producing milk, right? That's the reason why it's lactating. It has different hormones already in the milk. That's the same thing when you sit there and you know that a baby that comes from a woman, a human, gets everything they need from milk from their mother, so they don't have to sit there and be like, oh, okay, let me go get this B12 little supplement and drop it on your tongue. The child gets everything they need from their mother because it gives them the full round of nutrients that comes, because the milk tailors to the baby. That's the reason why it's produced from the mother. And so when you sit here and drink this dairy that is literally full of hormones, this is going to cause acne. It's going to cause PCOS and fibroids. It's going to cause different issues of hormonal balance because it has its own natural hormones that are not the same natural hormones that come from your body. Soy, over 90% of soy in the US is genetically modified. So I want people to understand that, because people who are going into a plant-based lifestyle immediately start getting soy products that get beyond burgers, Impossible meats. They sit here and grab all these different soy-based processed foods, soy, tofu, soybean oil. They have phytoestrogens. Phytoestrogens are the mimic of our natural estrogen inside of our body because it comes from the plant. But those phytoestrogens are going to cause estrogen dominance because our body has the natural estrogen, and then we eat the phytoestrogen, which makes our natural estrogen raise in women and men. And so in men specifically, your estrogen is going to raise, your testosterone is going to lower, and you're going to have phytoestrogens. So you have two estrogens that have no business being at a high level, and now you have your testosterone lowered. These are going to cause different imbalances, many different issues. And this is going to increase you having a risk of breast cancer and other cancers like ovarian cancer, testicular cancer. These are all warning signs from your body to let you know you've had an overload of estrogen for too long and you've done nothing about it. That's why you develop breast cancer. That's why you develop ovarian or testicular cancer. There is a reason why. There is no just, oh, it runs in my family. When you consume these foods in excess, like most of you do, let's be real. Let's be real. They create a perfect storm of chaos inside of your body. The perfect storm that chronic illness feeds off. The perfect storm that parasites feed off of. And it's not the matter of if you'll get sick. It's the matter of when. When you will get sick. So let's sit here and really think about the fact that this gut hormone connection that we are not making, because like I said, leaky gut is going to literally leak into your bloodstream, and that's going to cause different issues. Your gut and your brain are directly connected. They literally nickname in the medical industry that your gut is your second brain. There is a reason why. Because 95% of your serotonin is produced in your gut. This is the hormone that's going to regulate your mood. So when you're having mood swings, when you feel fatigued, when you feel overwhelmed and you're having panic attacks, this is because your gut is off and your mood is not regulated. So when your gut is inflamed or it's out of balance with its pH, this is going to impact your mood and your immune system. That's going to keep you from fighting off these different things like cancer. It's going to keep you from fighting off these different things like parasites. It's going to keep you from fighting off. And it's going to keep you ill. But a plant-based lifestyle is the most effective way for you to learn, one, how to eat correctly and take care of your body so that you stop blocking your healing. But two, to effectively heal your gut in a simplified way without having to take all these different things or do a surgery or do all this crap that they're promoting to you, because it literally does not restore your hormonal balance, which you need. And you have to restore your balance. Plants are anti-inflammatory by their nature. Plants, fruits and vegetables, they're going to flush you by their nature. They're rich in fiber, which helps flush you out because it helps you go to the bathroom. They support your gut health because they're going to rebalance your pH to what it needs to, because like I said, it promotes from flushing, so water, fiber, it's going to give you many minerals, vitamins, all the nutrients that you need every single day. It promotes detoxification because not only does it give you oxygen on a cellular level, but it's also going to help you with the fiber with helping you go to the bathroom. It's going to help you with vitamin C, which is citrus, and citrus is great for your body, like vitamin A, vitamin B, vitamin D, like all these different vitamins that you have to have, all the different minerals that you have to have. They also help you balance your blood sugar, like many people are not realizing that they throw off every single day. Helping balance your blood sugar is the key to helping your hormone dysregulation. You have to balance your blood sugar for your hormones to be correctly operating and correctly functioning and releasing the way that they should. So before we get to the end and I close, you can start dropping your questions down below. I would love to hear your questions because I know this can feel overwhelming. And I want to know if there's anything that I didn't cover that you have any questions about. But I've been where you are. I've been where you've been, where you are. And I'm going to say that because I was stuck in the cycle of bad habits and stuck in the cycle of feeling like It was impossible. Feeling frustrated. I was never going to be able to have a balanced weight. Feeling out of control completely. But I'm here to tell you that change is possible. It is okay for you to not know where to start. It's okay for you to have questions. Drop your questions down. It's okay for you to sit here and feel like that you don't want to do this alone, because I can help you. There is plenty of support out there. There are plenty of different ways for you to get started today. Like I said, all of my free content is posted on YouTube. I post all of my past lives on YouTube. All the free content I have here on TikTok. I post plenty on TikTok. You have many different ways and strategies for you to get started today. But if you are ready to work with me and you're ready to actually get that accountability, that support, and you want to feel guided into the space and know step by step how you do this for yourself, you can join my Bloom and Thrive program. This Bloom and Thrive program is going to be your step by step walkthrough of adapting a plant-based lifestyle and sustaining it for yourself so that your body heals and balances itself. So you can get that and start learning how to make your plant-based meals with me. We have a workshop that where we sit here and we learn how to make our own non-toxic products. We make our body wash, our toothpaste, our mouthwash. These are all things that I do for myself every single day. I make my own non-toxic laundry detergent. All of these are things that I do every single day for myself that I've been doing for 4 years that have allowed my body to rebalance and to heal itself. And if you are ready for that, you can get a Klarna Affirmer Afterpay. The link is in my bio for plenty of information, ton of information more. And if you are ready to just understand how to get in the space, start uncovering the habits that you need for it to be healing, and to map out a grocery list, do a pantry audit, and just to have a personalized plan for you to get started today to help you heal and to thrive, but you don't necessarily want to start a program, you can book a one-on-one session with me and get started today and already start establishing your healing. So then by 2025, I said 2025, goodness, by 20, I was about to say 2020 when I was trying to say 2025. By 2025, you can already be helping your body heal. You can already be supporting your body heal, and know that you don't have to do it alone. Be supported through that. I can help you reclaim your health just like I did for myself, asking the Most High, I want to change. What do I need to do? And he pointed me in the direction of being plant-based, and I've been plant-based for 4 years. I will not be going back. So in order for you to live the vibrant lifestyle that you deserve and that you need, you have to gain rebalance. You have to gain that balance that you need. So please drop your questions down below if you have any questions. I would love to know if you have any questions about balanced hormones, if you have any questions about living a healthy lifestyle, living plant-based, because you need to remember that your health is literally your greatest wealth. You only get one body. You get one temple, and this is it. This is it. You only get one. You get one kidney, you get one liver, you get one pancreas, one heart. They're telling you, oh, you have all these different ways of, okay, you can be on a wait list for a donor and all these stuff. Why would you even want to get there, to have to depend on them to hope that somebody unalive so that you can get a kidney, a liver, a heart, whatever? It's not too late for you to start making different choices that are not going to break your bank, that are going to save you time, that are not going to cause you to have all these disruptions. But it's a matter of, what do you want to do? How are you going to establish that? So if you don't have any questions, I am going to hop off. But thank you so much for staying tuned to this live. I really appreciate it. What questions do you have for me before I get off? I was trying not to eat anything this early, but I do have a little bit left over of I had a little wrap yesterday, and I have a little bit left over with some hummus, and I kind of want it. It's not too early. It's earlier than what I usually don't eat till like 2-ish, 3-ish, and it's about to be 1, but I'm gonna let myself have it. I've been good. No questions for me? None? Well, like I said, if you don't know who I am, my name is Kendra. I'm a plant-based lifestyle strategist. I am here to help you understand the plant-based lifestyle, establish it, make the connections between health. I'm the founder of some kind of natural remedy. I'm always throwing some kind of natural product, that I make, by the way. I don't just buy natural products, but I make them myself. I'm always throwing some kind of natural food from the earth. So if you have any questions after I get off of live and you're like, I don't remember her covering this, or I didn't want to ask in front of everybody else, please feel free to DM me. My DMs are always open. Don't forget to follow me here on TikTok if you haven't already. And also go follow me on my other socials, just in case they take TikTok away from us. If you are on my email list, you know every single time I go live, and you get our Wellness Wednesday emails. So I hope that you have an amazing, amazing rest of your day. Try not to eat a whole bunch of crap. try to eat something good for you. Look up a plant-based recipe if you're cooking. That'd be great. Incorporate it in the meal. Don't tell anybody it's plant-based. Just have them to try it and see what they say. So I hope you have an amazing rest of your day.